Hello, James, and this video to show you what I have done and also something that you maybe discuss with your managers about the interface. You know, the interface you give me is the iCloud server, and I guess that is based on the Amazon Web Service, and but maybe you understand it that the Windows Microsoft Windows Azure is not quite different than the AWS. So there are many parameters in that the Azure don't have, or there are some different format. For example, for the instance, and in your instance, there the instance have a image and also the account ID. But in Amazon or in Azure, the instance is separate than the host instance service is separate from the images, and while each host instance we have a deployment, and under the deployment we have the VM rule. This VM rule is related to the VM images, and also the deployment have input endpoints that is for different. Of course, the URL is the same, but the port is different. For example, we have the HTTP for the 80 port and the 812 port for the TCP. Okay. Um, so I have done most of the functions, but just not sure how to integrate it with your predefined interface and the object. Okay, so I just to give you this to show you how to make it work. Okay, so let's go through each functions that we have. The first one is create instance. As my understanding, the create instance is not just a create because in Amazon the create instance may be already related to the image and already to the deployment. But in Azure, if we just create an instance, it is just a single instance without the deployment and the image. Okay, so I think this function creates the same different stage. The first one is just to create the hosted in service. For example, this is my test from the using our API. I just created a hosted service called tool test label, and then the second one we need to add the certificate, and this certificate is from somewhere we in the Visual Studio we created, and I will send you this again. And after created the certificate, we can start to create the deployment. In the deployment, we should upload the package location and the config file location. Okay. So this is three different steps we need to do. So I just tested it before, and you can see that I just the first one is created the tool, the hosted service named tool set name, tool set test name, and the second one is add the certificate. This is my the certificate location on my local, and the format and the password. And the third one is to deployment. At the deployment slot is staging, and the name is to test deploy label, and the package location. The package location, at first I just tested with my local, and it raised an error. It said the package location must be HTTP URL. So I uploaded to the storage using another free tool called Azure Storage Explorer, and I uploaded the package, the the deployed package. But another interesting thing is about the config file. The config file, we cannot set it using the public URL. We only can use it as a local location. So I use it as my local. So I will tell, of course, I will send you all of the related artifacts. Okay, and then we'll set the hosted service name is just we created before, and the config file location, the package location, deployment name, and the deployment slot, and the label. Okay, and then it will create the deployment, and the status is stopped. Of course, we can start it then. Okay, so this is the 3 steps, while Amazon maybe just 1 step. Okay, but that is different. And for the get instance, you have a parameter called account ID, but in Azure we don't have this account ID. We have the subscription ID. The subscription ID is the top level one. So I just return the get instance, call the get instance, and this one it will list all of the host instance, include the deployment, and you can see, maybe you can check this. This is all of the host instance returned, including the deployment, and such as the input in endpoint and the IP address. And the terminate, I haven't done it, but I need to discuss something about it. In the terminate, we can check the Azure. The host instance, we can only delete it, but cannot terminate it. But for the deployment, of course, we can start it or stop it. So I guess this is the stop it of the deployment. So similar to the get instance, the account ID and the instance ID is not useful. And for the get images, this is just a little similar to the Amazon Web Service. They get just return all of the images we have on the Azure. This is just return all of the 3 images we have. Okay. So most of the functions are straightforward, but the basic many of the structures of the returned data in quite different than the Amazon. So I don't know if you still need to can integrate it with the predefined your cloud server interface. I think many data are different and structures are different. Okay. So another thing I want to say about you for the Azure Web Service Core REST API, in the request header, we need to attach the certificate to it. So for each application running on the, if you want to, of course, I just give you this admin tool as a Windows desktop application. You can see that this is just a list instance and get the images. This is a local desktop application. We need the certificate installed on our local because the request needs the certificate. And in the app config file, we set the certificate thumbprint is this one. This is just what we used, and so I will send you the so I will send you the certificate again. So this one is what I will send you, and you will need install it on your local, or if you need to do it as a website application, you need to install it on your website server. And this is another certificate that we use to for the deployment of the and the hosted service. You know, the host service need a certificate of, if we want to deployment something. So that there are two certificates. Okay. So I think this is most of the things I need to let you know, and just as you can see that most of the functions are already okay. Just how to integrate the return data into your predefined objects. That is maybe we need to discuss more. Thank you.